what you've got coming, no more, no less. In Virgo, it's the struggle for perfection. And I was talking to a colleague of mine. We were kicking around ideas because we both talk on the events now, and he says, yeah, Saturn in Virgo is really leaving no stone unturned. And I said, well, you know what? You and everybody I know, if you go back 30 years to the last time that Saturn was in Virgo, it was more like leave no turn unstoned. But we've come up a little bit since then. You go back another Saturn cycle, and it was a different world we were living in. You know, people who you would meet at 30 years ago at a rock festival or something, you'd put something in their hand, and they'd put it in their mouth. And those same people, you meet them in the store now, and they've got a magnifying glass out reading the label of a can of soup to find out if there's canola oil in it. Or, you know, you end up with Virgo, you always end up on one side of the fussy equation or the other. Either you don't care at all, or, you know, every little thing matters. What is the bottom line for Saturn in Virgo? It is prioritizing, learning what is most important, and cutting through the minutia and making it work for you. With Saturn in Virgo, and this speaks to the circumstances that we've just come through. Kirsten, I'm going to show you something. This is the chart for the night. Saturn went into Virgo September 2nd, 2007, and it stays there until 29th of October 2009. So it's just a little bit longer than a 2-year transit. Again, you got 12 signs of the zodiac, and it takes 28 to 30 years to go around the zodiac. So Saturn's, it's a long sojourn in Virgo. Now, why I'm taking the time to explain a little bit about this is because you might have been, how many people, if you get honest, you can all close your eyes and not look at anybody else. How many people have been feeling a little gloomy during this last period? Well, if you haven't been, there's something wrong. It's the expression if everybody around you's panicking and you're not, maybe they know something you don't. The circumstances in the world have been very zany. We're in uncharted territory. You have Alan Greenspan going in front of Congress, and they're grilling him, and he's a Pisces, and he's there spinning his numbers off in outer space, a very nice man, and brilliant. And they're saying, what went wrong? And he says, I don't know. It's like, you'd always wanted him to say that when he was sitting on the Fed. But now he doesn't have to report to anybody. He can say what is really on his mind, which is that nobody really understands. And it isn't that the rule book is immaterial, it's just not sufficient. Everything that you know and can add up analytically does not add up to the circumstances that we're in. But the truth of the matter is, it never did. It was always an illusion to feel that you were able to control circumstances in your life by reference to what had happened in the past. Because we're always in a new day. We're traveling, the Earth is traveling through space and territory it's never been through before. And astrologers, I'm culpable, we're the worst at it. That's what we do for a living, is we look at cycles that repeat and make assessments out of those cycles, and then we give advice to people on them. What we are talking about tonight, what I'm attempting to give to you, is the basic outline of the weather report for what's happening next year. You have your own chart, which is a response mechanism. But there's certain things going on that involve everybody. It's the atmosphere that we live in. You get the day off of work. That's your own personal chart. You love to go to the beach. That's your own personal chart. It's raining. That's not your chart. That's the chart for everybody. It's raining for not just you. It's raining for everybody. But your chart is the response to that, your choice. Do I go to the beach and enjoy it even though it's raining? Or do I do something else? Do I have a different activity? So the point is that the position of the planets right now tell a story. They don't predict your future. They do tell you something about the atmosphere that you're going to be living in. And those of, so many of my clients for the last 30 years or so, whenever I would talk about this period of history, would say, geez, Bob, you sound so gloomy about it. And I'm saying, no, and you just have to be prepared. And then after we entered into the bottom falling out of the stock market and all of the crazy things going on, people said, Bob, why you sound so cheerful? I'm saying because the gloom is just on the surface. What you have to do is to get beyond the shock effect of life isn't the way that it was before. We live in, as the saying goes, a post-9/11 world. And a level of trauma that people experience right now is unnecessary. The events, the external events are there. They're going to be there. But why I'm telling you this and emphasizing it so much is the equation changes rapidly next year. You see, we all have a cosmic Santa Claus. You have one in your chart somewhere. It's your planet of luck and abundance, Jupiter. And we have a transiting Jupiter somewhere in the sky, which is, Jupiter is